Testing, testing, testing. Mute and kill this YouTube channel. Guys, the YouTube stream is still gonna be a little shitty, not gonna lie. Can't figure it out. I have posted a job on Upwork and I'm reaching out to some people that I know who are more familiar with OBS, but I've tried every setting I can find. I've done hours worth of testing. 1 second. I've done a ton of testing. I can't get it to be like crisp, high quality, 1080p. So, working on it. So, anybody on YouTube who likes watching on YouTube, it's just not going to be the greatest. It's not awful, but it's really not that great. So, I am working on it. Hopefully, in the next day or two, I'll get that figured out. But let's clean up some charts here. Do what we do every day and every week. That wasn't what I wanted, right? What is that? That was just 22,000. That can go. This can go. So I do care about the month, quarter, year open. We're far above it, but I'm going to leave that on there. I'm going to start at the week, and I'm going to mark our weekly high and low on NQ. So week, flowing this, right? Week. I'm going to go to the day. And I hate to disappoint you guys, but I am not a fan at all of what we're looking at heading into the open. There is nothing exciting about it, really. There's an hourly inside bar, but I mean, we're probably going to open. We had an outside day to end the week, so got to make things a little tricky, but we'll see what happens here. So, marking the day low, day high, mark the 4-hour high. 4-hour, the low is same as the daily. Hourly, got an inside bar here. So we will mark that 60, 60. And that's about it to get things started here. So again, if we look bigger picture, we do still have this potential outside month. Let me get rid of these. So potential outside month still. We got 5 days left to do it, so we are up against the clock. It'll be daily continuation. We hit daily target, or I'm sorry, weekly. We hit our weekly target last week, and now on the daily we are just gonna open inside, and really tough to pick a direction here because it could really go either way. This could just be small corrective activity before we continue push higher. This week is a big news week. A lot of numbers coming out. I think earnings, FOMC. So it should bring some volatility, but as far as, trading Globex open tonight, not too exciting. But we'll see if we'll see what happens here. Double inside 30, inside 60. So maybe try a quick trade off of that. Here's the inside hour. And we got double inside 30s. So if we don't gap too far, we'll have to see what happens here. Again, I say this every week. I'm not, I'm not itching to get into a trade when things aren't ideal. I'm gonna do kind of like the 4-hour. But mildly. It's just not. I don't know. We'll really have. It's one of those weeks where we're just gonna have to let it open, especially with numbers coming out. I don't want to burn through my firepower aka DLL, gap down. So it's quite a way to start the week. Gonna be a lot of eyeballs on this gap. Every time there's a gap, everybody wants it to get filled. So we get contract rollover. When's rollover? Let's see. Oops, that's not what I want. Equity index roll dates. Nope. Don't think so. Just good old fashioned gap down. Yeah, it's not until March 21st. Just double checking. I felt like we just did that recently, but it's a pretty significant gap down at 100 points plus 120 points. It's been a minute since I've seen a nice big fat gap like that. So, yeah, we're just gonna have to chill here. I mean, I was resisting the urge to just jump into a short. I don't really want to just kind of do a whole lot of guessing here. Prefer to see how this, at least the first like 15-30 minutes plays out. See if it does start heading back up and to the Friday close or low. I did just take another payout, so my balance is now down to 2K, and I am in rebuild mode, so I'm going to trade a little bit more aggressively than I had been. I was primarily focusing on the $200 days to extract some money out of this account, and I've gotten 5,500 in payouts out of it. So that doesn't mean be crazy. That just means, scale into winning positions a little bit more aggressively and quicker than I have. For some reason, I'm on the 60-minute chart. So let's go down to the 2-minute where I like to be. Even go to the 1 minute for a sec here. Until we get a few, until we get 10, 15 minutes in, then I'll switch back to the 2-minute. So yeah, not doing too hot on my backup funded account. I hit my daily loss 2 days in a row. So not a great start. Last week for me was tricky. I mean, I know, some people have said, "Oh, it was, easy trading." I don't feel that was the case. I know a lot of people that were struggling last week, so no big deal. My other account, rough start to the week, got my $200 day, took my payout. So really, I had an amazing first week, and then I've been coasting here. This week was decent, all mostly green trades, small red day. This week I struggled, missed probably the trade that would make my week at like another. I'm gonna say it would have been either but somewhere probably between this $5,400 day and this $2,500 day would have been you know maybe a $2,000-3,000 or more day, but I just missed the setup. So I was gonna take a short here on this. I should have kind of stuck on this, stuck to the chart. Is a little early though to just kind of be plowing into things, but market's selling off pretty hard. I did not mean to do that. Accidentally hit the button. Yeah, that was good for 46 points. That's crazy. But if you're wrong, 46 points going against you is kind of tough. Resisting the urge to just try and quickly make money, right? Take good setups, the money will come. That's kind of the trick to this whole game. Yeah, I saw the back and forth between Colombia's president and Trump. Got some 50-50 tit for tat tariffs. Busy took a 1 minute 222 reversal, added up to 4. Deep seek dump. It's possible. That is a good actually that's a good theory. Not bad that tech companies are gonna get are overspending on AI. See how that shakes out. What's up, Kevin H? My weekend was I caught up on sleep yesterday. Today I just kind of lounged around and watched the Eagles game when it came on. So nothing special, but I was very nice to sleep in on Saturday. I definitely needed it. I didn't get up till I got up early and let my dog out, take her for a little walk, but then I went back to sleep. I didn't get up till like 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I just pretty much laid in bed all day. It was kind of glorious. It's nice to be able to do that. Sometimes I feel guilty about it, but not this time. I had no like responsibilities. I got, I requested money from last week out of my prop account. I've had a good January, so I did trade some crypto. I'm very was very irritated at myself last night. I was in a trade. I was up 1,500 on Trump coin. Let it stop me out break even. Just was expecting it to turn around and it didn't. So should have locked in at least 1,000 on that trade. No excuse for it. Then I caught another $1,500 trade and locked in like 300. Basically the same scenario. Was looking for this daily. It was a daily hammer that I was looking for it to play out. So if we go to the daily chart, that's not right. So what am I doing? You two had this hammer here. We broke bull and then just started giving it back. A 15-minute chart. You'll see like we broke. This was the move up. I caught this move. I gave it all back. Got back in when it re-triggered the day. And it just couldn't keep it going. So I do need to be quicker to lock in profits when I'm up, 1,500 in a pretty easy trade. Would have been a three, let's say I just locked in 1,000 on each trade. It would have been 2 grand last night, which is a nice weekend. And instead, I'm just, kind of annoyed. But other than that, it was the weekend. Weekends are made for waiting for the market to open on Sunday. Free day with DeepSeek AI barrier to entry just disappeared. I mean, there are other, Llama is the meta model that's open source. You can run that too. I did see that DeepSeek allegedly you can run on a phone, so you can have local token processing. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to trust. You know, they say it was. It's hard to know how under what conditions it was developed. Like whether they have a significant amount of H100s from Nvidia that they're not supposed to have. But you know, I imagine that they can get access to when you're the Chinese government. You're gonna jump through hoops and dance to get chips. So we'll see. I saw they released a paper. I mean, people are. We'll find out more in the coming days, weeks. Well, it definitely could be a reason, or at least adding to some of the downward pressure. I mean, we had a solid rally here for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. No corrective activity. So this is not surprising that we're pulling back. I'm surprised that we gapped down as much as we did. I expected to open inside day. Even if we open near the low. So it's definitely a potential reason why you've got tech selling off a bit. Inside fiber, trying to break bear, and it's about to. I'm kind of tempted. I think they're trying to lure me in here. We get a 15-minute flip in 3 minutes. So just trying to be patient. Market's not going anywhere. There will definitely be setups and opportunities this week. I only need one good day to make my week. And it is tricky when the market gets moving like this. I need to, like this opening candle, it doesn't look that big, but it's 82 points. I mean, even just this move down here is 25. It's really hard to get perspective when you've got, just these big moves down, gap down, or moves like this. You gotta like stretch your. At least I have to. I gotta stretch my kind of chart out to gain perspective. Because what looks like a normal 5 or 10 point candle is actually like a 20 or 30 point candle. So inside 5 or down would have been a good trade. Here's the 5, inside down, new low a day. A little bit of follow through. We got short term, daily, weekly, hourly, 30, 15 time frame continuity to the downside. Kevin H says Trump was talking more tariffs over the weekend. Yeah, that's seems to be his go-to thing, and I know the market is not a fan of it, and I do understand why. But it does come out of our pockets as consumers. I mean, if Walmart pays a tariff for goods that they import, it's just going to get passed on to. They're not going to eat that cost and just say, well, we're going to be good guys. So how it, like whether it works or not, I don't know. I'm not smart enough to, no economist. I just trade the charts, but it seems like in practice it's not going to be a great thing, but who knows? Somebody commented to me on Twitter that they were I posted a Trump coin chart and they were like, it's going to zero, F Trump kind of thing. And like, I get it, but when you're trading, you got to really separate yourself from that because it was up 40,000% in 30 hours and then, dropped off a cliff. And there's volatility and trades to be had in that, whether you like Trump or don't, whether you think the coin's going to zero, there will be plenty of opportunities to long and short it on its way to probably zero. But, we can look at DJT, Truth Social, for an example of how things play out. Or big drops, big, spikes, big pops, plenty of money to be made on both sides. If you were just trying to short it to, you know, zero, essentially, you would have gotten your face ripped off many times. I mean, look at this. Crazy run, crazy dump, massive bounce, slow grind down, sideways, huge pump. I mean, this is, let's see how many percent this is. This is 244%. And then a 40% dump, and then another ripper, and another dump, and another ripper. Like, if you couldn't just short this and hold, you know what I mean? Like, if you thought this was going to zero and you're here, you got this, you had to close your position. This is when election, when the tide started turning for him into the election. Big gap up on November 6th, so after he won, and then a sell off. I mean, but even this move right here, a single candle of 25%. So, politics aside, trade the charts. There's enough money for everyone to participate. Longs are making money, shorts are making money. Green Day says all out here, best Sunday ever. Would you take shorts? Wish I had shorted the this little right here, this little break with a stop up here. There's only a 10-point stop, and we got some little wicks here, but this would not have stopped me out. And we got a nice move down, and we're probably, I mean, if I had to guess, we're going to keep selling. Certainly looks that way, even though we're only, 20 minutes in. Would have liked to have had a position up here, but for about 40 points. Damn, Green Day, nice. 5,700. 57.57. Good job. That is a hell of a way to start Sunday. Busy says I locked out both accounts, trading in paper for a little bit. Oh, thanks, Busy, for this reminder here. We need to go into risk settings and lock out of risk settings on both of my accounts. So I cannot adjust my daily loss limit, which has been my biggest issue with losing accounts, losing funded accounts, not accepting my daily loss limit, adjusting it, and then deleting it. I wish I was in a short position, man. Feeling a little bit of FOMO, but it's okay. Busy says, bro, I couldn't even see the dang opening candle. Yeah, it was some pretty significant selling right off the jump. Green Day said exactly. Trading is trading. Politics is politics. If you trade your ideology, you lose. Yeah, you gotta just trade the charts, man. That's it. Price will tell you what's going on. It doesn't matter what I think, right? It matters what the majority of market participants think. Yeah, this is painful. I'm not gonna lie. This is painful not to participate in. It's hurting my heart. But again, we're only 20 minutes into the week, so not gonna get too hung up on it. Would it be nice to get a one and done, solid trade? But Green Day says I sat on the idea of massive deep seek dump. It played. Now I have to log out and forget about it. Yeah, man, don't give those gains back. That's that's I don't know how much you typically what you average per day, but that's a solid week. So now you get to be picky the rest of the week and just take, high quality trades. That's how I'm trying to think of my trading more in like how I did for the week, or how really on a weekly basis. Right? How did I do this week? Not every single day is going to be a winner, but am I up on the week or down on the week? And then, above that, kind of like how was my month? So, maybe you have a rough week, fine, but like starting out in this XFA, I started out really great. I traded super well. Market was exactly the way that the setups were there that I like to hammer, and that's what I did. And then I just kind of coasted, and it was hard for me to kind of be okay, not crushing it, but I got the $200 days. I got the money out of the account. That's what matters. And I'll just be patient and wait for my A plus setups, and then I'll go aggressive, right? As he says, if this keeps selling, I'm looking to trap buyers. Green Day, I usually tilt when I have a big win or a big loss. The good thing is that I now know, so I log out and avoid playing God, trying to hit home runs. Yeah, that's why. I mean, if you look on my stats here, after I had this big day when I started in this account, I closed out with a small. I didn't even hit my daily loss limit. I just wasn't trading well. Probably took more trades than I should have. You can't really go by these numbers. 94 trades. I'm scaling in 3 micros at a time. So if I get up to 12 micros and stop out, break even, and then I make 2 or 3 attempts on that trade, it's going to show up as like 20, 30 trades. But this is, on the higher end. And so I just cut myself off because I have been in that situation where you hit a great day and then you're looking for the next one right away, right? Sometimes the same day, next day. You think you're like king shit and then get overconfident and size up and then you get your teeth kicked in. So would not blame you at all for just, maybe taking tomorrow off or just being super picky. And if there's nothing there, you still got a solid win. As he says, of course, I'm in paper. Would you get a win in paper? Green Day, thanks for sharing your experience. No problem. Busy working on my personal assessment. Just got to wait for setups now. You know, there's we got big red candles on on, the 30, the 60, the 4 hour. So I would be looking to, any corrective activity to short. Like maybe we get a little something like this, it'll pop up. As long as we stay under this daily, weekly open, I'm going to look to short against that. Because at this point, sellers are in control. There's no doubt about it. So don't fight the trend. Some point, yeah, there will be opportunities to get long after we run into some exhaustion levels. But I usually try and trade in the direction of the daily and the 60. Let's get rid of this line. I don't want it to confuse me. White and open. Even though I'm not in a position, it's nice to see volatility like this right out of the gate, because usually that will continue on some level. And the last couple times I've streamed, it's been really, really slow, sideways, choppy action. Like a little move off the open, and then we've been stuck inside of the opening range. And with Trump as president now, we got to be aware of when he's speaking, if there are news conferences and events that are going on. You just have to be more on your, toes. Always keep an eye on the economic calendar, know what's going on. I don't understand. People are like, "Oh, I didn't realize FOMC." Like, what? If you're trading futures, I mean, if you're trading in general, you should, you know, go to Forex Factory or Financial Juice or any of these sites, or in our Discord, there's the economic calendar channel. Oh, which that's not even gonna. Never mind. Go to one of these websites. Let's see. Where is it here? Oh, right here. I don't know why this is. Oh, this is Trader Hub. That's kind of a stupid icon. But pull up these. Yeah, filter. I like my Discord version better. Gonna have to figure out some way of redoing that. But my point is, you should be paying attention to what's going on in the market. Like that's not a great way to be if you're trying to do this for a living or even as a side hustle. You can't get caught on the wrong side of a trade because you just didn't spend 60 seconds pulling up a website to make sure there weren't news events happening. That's painful. That entry was the 1 minute little, wasn't really a shooter, but that 1 minute candle I wanted to take was good for 71 points. It's like a solid win in the first 20 minutes. But we can't get them all. Don't want to chase. Just be patient. Things will show up. My favorite time frames to trade are like the really the 4 hour, 12 hour daily. Really 4 hours like my go-to. 12 hour, I like to look at the flip at 6 a.m. Eastern. And then I will get into the 62, but if there's not a setup on the 60 or 4 hour, I'm much more reluctant just to jump in a trade. I want to get into a setup on a smaller time frame where there's a higher time frame setup with magnitude. That's just what has been working for me. And so that's what I'm sticking with. Yeah, Kevin said tweet. Yeah, exactly. Like if you're not following Trump and turn on notifications when tweets come out, you're doing yourself a disservice. Again, separate the politics and all that. Like, when he says things, the markets respond. So it's helpful if you know what's going on. I see people post all that the market like dumps and they're like, news question mark news what's going like maybe maybe not, doesn't really matter, but it's nice to be plugged in a little bit, know what's going on. If you see the president tweet something about some major tariffs with another country or a trade partner, it's helpful to know about it. I mean, always trade the charts first, but you got to be a little plugged in. Just my opinion. Do I trade Forex on it? I would trade Forex exactly the same way I trade crypto and futures and stocks. I trade the exact same way. Doesn't matter what I'm trading. Take the same setups that I like. Primarily like to focus on the 60, the 4 hour, 12 hour, using, I'm on a 2 minute chart over here on Top Step. So that's where I will use set stops based on the 2 minute. But I'm looking at the 5 minute, the 15, the 30. Looking for setups on the smaller time frames to get me into higher time frame setups. So like a 15-minute setup that triggers a 4 hour, sign me up. Or a 30-minute that triggers a 60-minute that triggers a 4 hour, all about it. I have not traded Forex, but I can tell you I would trade the exact same way. Crypto is probably the closest thing, but it's all price action. So we got an inside 5, 15, 30. Just had a 30-minute flip about 4 minutes ago. And nothing here for me yet. I missed that little 5 minute setup here that I had mentioned. So shorting the inside bar break. We did get a little bit of a pullback, retrigger. Finally got some follow through here. So would have been able to get something out of this, but I missed the entry. So now I just sit on the sidelines. Anybody know? Let me pull up. Let's see. Philadelphia Eagles. Oh my goodness. What had happened? Yeesh. The Eagles must have they scored 21 points in the fourth quarter. Is it over? Does it say final? Final, yeah. That is pretty fantastic. Pretty happy about that. Wanted to watch the end of the game, but I saw they had scored a touchdown right like 10 minutes before Futures Open, and I figured they were going to be okay. So decided to hop on here with you guys, see if I could make some money. 5 minute inside bar trying to break bull. But I think any pops are going to be for shorting. Something like this. Possibly get going here and, end up filling this gap. Oh no, still early. Only 36 minutes into trading, so anything is possible. But we've got daily, weekly continuity to the downside, so that's the direction I'm primarily focused on. Till there's some evidence of buyers, then sellers are leading the charge. The sad thing is we're not even going to get, not really going to be anything great on the flip, on the hourly flip. So this might be a boring live stream, but I'm not going to lose money. Can't lose money if you don't take trades. You can't make money either, but there's no sense taking trades that are low quality, potentially getting burned. I already accidentally hit my hotkey to, I don't know what it was, long or short, and just instantly closed. That was a good example of if you make a mistake or you find yourself in a trade you didn't intend to be in, don't play the let's wait and see what happens game, right? Get out of it. If you want to get back in, fine, but don't just be like, well, I'm already in a position. Let's just see if this works. Don't recommend doing that. You got to have a plan when you get into a trade. And if you didn't have a plan, you find yourself in a trade out of FOMO or for some other reason by mistake, and or a limit order was sitting there and got filled accidentally, get out of it as quickly as you can. Now, if a limit order gets filled and you finally realize it and you're up like $200, okay, that's different. Set your stop, break even, or close it and just book the profit. But like I hit a hotkey by mistake and it just instantly hit flat and all. Not gonna wait around and see like if this just random trade works. Probably 5 minute little 5 minute outside bar going on here. It's looking like. You can see there's broke bull, And then once this flips red, that's when I'm looking when the green to red or red to green moves is the early entry for the potential outside bar. Didn't quite get it this time. A little bit shy. We're in this, we're just kind of in this tight, choppy range. Inside 15, inside 30. Not surprising after a big move down like this. It's 138 points. First 30 minutes. And I will be watching this range for us to get out of. Got a 15-minute flip in 3 minutes and 18 seconds. See if the inside bar breaks in one direction or another. What else is happening in the markets? Let's take a look at oil. So oil hit monthly magnitude and has been selling off since. Weekly inside bar, daily inside bar. Be daily continuation, so nothing too exciting there. This we've been watching the monthly inside bar. Broke bull just shy of taking out all-time high. A little bit of corrective activity here. So might see what happens with the inside week, inside day. Silver's working on double inside weeks. We've got an inside month. Platinum working on triple inside weeks. So double inside weeks, and the current candle is stuck inside. Do have the shooter on the daily breaking bear. Just a 2-2 reversal though, nothing special. But if we get some follow through here, it'd be looking kind of to target down here. Might keep an eye on this. I don't trade platinum that often, but I do like to trade metals early in the morning, like New York pre-market when COMEX opens. See anything really like super exciting. Up Bitcoin with this 322, but I kind of want to see Bitcoin, keep steamrolling higher because I have a long-term position. But doesn't mean that's what's going to happen. Yeah, natty gas. I don't know. I think probably I'll stick with NQ since we do have some volatility. There's just no immediate setups right this second, which is fine. So we had a 15-minute flip breaking this inside bar. You can see, I don't know if this is exactly the 15-minute, this little range that I drew. The 15-minute inside bar breaking outside of that. But not anything I'm interested in taking long. Got about just over 13 minutes till we get a new hourly candle. Looks like it's going to be opening inside. Which means I will be going to watch football, probably on the flip here. I think they're going to be we're going to have some good opportunities like this week with earnings and FOMC and everything else that's going on. So just going to be patient and wait for like the best setups that I go after. Might be one of those times where I'll just check in on the 4 hour flip, but if we open inside, then probably peek back. Maybe I'll go to bed early, and then if I'm awake at 2 or 3 a.m. for London Open, I'll take a peek in. The market's had a chance to print some couple hourly candles, a 4 hour candle or two or three. Anybody see anything out there I'm missing? Metals, oil, NQ. Let's take a look at ES, see what ES is doing. ES did get the outside month. Gap down by currently. So is it just tech getting beat up a bit? Let's zoom in. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Maybe be doing something like this. Fill that gap. Tech's definitely weaker. So whoever mentioned, I think it was Green Day, the deep seek hypothesis, we'll call it. I don't often trade ES, but I'm gonna keep an eye on it here. Yes, we've got time frame continuity to the upside, so we're holding above the daily weekly open. It gapped down, but it did not continue selling off like NQ did. Got to flip in about 8 minutes. See what happens with that, and then I'll probably hop off here because I don't think there's going to be really anything worth trading or that I'm super interested in. This 15-minute inside bar up is working, but not just not that interested in it. Reason being is, the hourly and the 4 hour get these big red candles here. Not gonna fight them. Check out RTY. Double inside 15. So tech is definitely the weakest. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Alrighty, what I miss? 15-minute hitting target. That's about it, huh? Good for 20 points. Not a bad little kind of scalpy trade. Just not something I really want to mess with. I've told myself to stay off of just 5, 15, 30-minute setups with no higher time frame setups or magnitude. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to stick to that. Helps me take less trades, fewer trades. So as someone who can overtrade, if I stick to, the 60, the 4 hour, 12 hour, there are just, by definition going to be fewer candles on those time frames. A flip in just under 4 minutes. Maybe the 30 gets going, but now, so if this, let's say the 30-minute here, this closes inside bar, this breaks bull, and we start getting up into like this area, let's just say that on the 60-minute will give us a hammer candle. And if that breaks bull, then, I'd look for this gap to fill, like if the market turns around. So be keeping an eye on what happens here on the 30-minute flip. If buyers can kind of pick up the pace, if this was an overreaction maybe to the DeepSeek news. But a lot of work for buyers to kind of turn this around after whatever it was, 140 points. Like they'd have to put in some work here to show me that they're serious. Till that happens, I'm on team bear. You can see here, this is why I wasn't like super interested in this, right? We hit 15-minute magnitude and then just start pulling back. We've already given back half of this move, probably more now. So fine if you wanted to trade this and, get out, take profits at targets. But I'm usually looking for a little bit more out of my trades. Although, a mini 400 bucks, two minis 800 wouldn't be a bad way to start. Just what I would consider lower probability for me. One minute until the hourly flip. Blew past all these candles. So I'm gonna remark the 60. This the 60. I got it. Mark our 60 high and low. Big old range, about 110 points. No, more than that. Right? 140. So yeah, buyers, we need to see this pullback, another higher low to really to have any kind of confidence that they're gonna turn this ship around. Till then, I'm looking for, short the pops. There's the flip. Let's mark the 30 because I care about that 30-minute inside bar. I'll see if buyers set a higher low right here. Break the 30 inside bar bull. But again, they got a lot of work to do to. As a trader that I have a lot of respect for, Charting Man Dan, he would say bulls have to prove it. Bulls have a lot of proving to do. Let's check in. Let's see how Kansas City and Buffalo. KC, Buffalo. Kansas City already scored a touchdown. I don't know if there are any Kansas City Chiefs fans here, but I kind of root for them to lose. I think they've had enough winning going on. I mean, Mahomes is a great player, but they've become like the Patriots, right? It was under with Tom Brady. It's like just too much winning. I know that Kansas City fans are loving it, but I'm also visiting family, and my mom is rooting for Kansas City, so it's just fun to root against them. Inside 15, inside 30, inside hour. One thing I talk about quite a bit is like after the easy money is made, it's time to kind of take a break, right? So anybody who just shorted off the open or, even took a position like on this little shooter candle here on the 2 minute, they got 70 points out of this and they got 45 points in 2 minutes, and then in 18 minutes they got 71 points. So I'd call that the easy money, right? You short here, boom, you get your 50, 60, 70 points, and you're kind of, cash out. And then we often get stuck kind of chopping around here for a bit. And in the past, I would be looking for another, I want another 140-point move, and it just doesn't usually work that way. You usually just don't get these back to back dumps. You get a big move, and then the market kind of digesting the move. And then, at some point, yes, we'll, either continue lower or reverse this, but it usually takes a minute to play out. So in the past, I would be aggressively trying to get in a short position here, like, oh, a little bit of corrective activity, we're going to dump, and then we just kind of slowly grind down, and then maybe back up, and I'm like stuck trading in an inside 60, which is not where I want to be. So I've gotten better at just like saying, hey, I missed that move. Let's wait for the charts to set up. Let's wait for something that looks good, not just, oh, we got a big move. Where's the next one? Kind of a thing. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if you guys struggle with that or not, but it's on my trade plan here somewhere. I'll share it. Right here. Once the easy money has been made, walk away. So that's a reminder for me to not sit here and start getting greedy, right? Like had I shorted this little 2 minute, 1 minute, 2 minute candle and got my 50, 60, 70 points, just kind of pack it in, right? Good trade, pat on the back, patiently wait. Don't look for another 50, 60, 70 points, right away. Could happen, but usually doesn't. Got a 15-minute shooter here. This I might be interested in taking a shot at. Kind of debating here. 15 shooter to trigger the 30. But we don't really get anything out of the 60. New low a day. Well, we do have 3 hours left in this 4 hour candle. I think it's going to be hard to turn that around. I really don't want to trade the inside 60. I'll trade if we're close to getting out, going like two up or two down on the 60. Like it's currently an inside 60, but a setup on a smaller time frame will push it above or below the previous high or low. But a lot of times it's just choppy business. It's the market just wants to take my money. I'm tired of, doing that. Not going to give it up easily. So, I think I'm going to hop off, guys. Not a whole lot going on here. Nice move if you caught it off the open. I really wanted to smash the sell button, but would pretty much be just straight up gambling. Not going to lie. Like, sellers were strong. Might have been, might have worked, but plenty of times I've seen the market open, sell, and then just reverse and fill the gap. Just don't want to get caught on the wrong side of the trade to start the week. It puts me in a bad mood, especially if I'm not following a plan. Like if I got a plan and I'm wrong, that's one thing. But if I'm just like FOMOing in and hitting buy or sell, hoping that I make money, it's kind of the definition of gambling. For me, there's a fine line between, Gambler Tom and Trader Tom. Trader Tom follows logic, has a plan, discipline, self control. Gambler Tom just hits buttons and wants to make millions instantly. So that's why I didn't get into that. Going to be plenty of opportunities all week. So let's just, let's take good trades. The money will come. Waiting to see if this 15-minute breaks, but I'm not. I don't. Honestly, I don't think I'm going to take it. I think I'm better off just going and chilling for a bit. Wait for like the next hourly flip. Maybe this candle stays inside 60. This stays inside bar, and then I would trade a break. If this breaks to the low, we've already got the 4 hour, big red 4 hour candle. Red gets redder. But right now, it's kind of just blah. So we'll see what shapes up the rest of the week. I'm going to hop off here, relax for a bit. Appreciate you guys stopping by. And I will catch you guys later.